Yo, what's up GameLeap? It's Coach Cheese back at it, and we have a lot to go through in this video. Now, there are 10 settings you have to know about when Season 11 starts in just a couple of days, so make sure you pay attention for the next 10 or so minutes, because these are pro guides level massive. Now guys, from the hundreds of students I've coached, all of them, whether it's someone in Master or someone in Bronze, has some really whack setting on that actually does more harm than it does good, or they might not even have one of the most OP settings on at all, and they start every game at a disadvantage because of it. Now, whether it's a hotkey or a video setting, we've got it all covered. Now, I want to know if there has been a setting that you changed that all of a sudden made you a better player. For me, it was when I actually figured out how to change my resolution to 1920 by 1080 because I couldn't actually see what was going on before. Let me know down below which setting changed your life. Now, before we pull out the big guns, guys, you have got to check out our membership packages at our website, GameLeap.com. I don't care if you play a Lowy jungle, Teemo support, River Shen, you are going to be a better player and get the most out of this game with our challenger level courses, guides and videos. Listen to this as well. I know all of you love a bit of Coach Cheese. Well, I'm making daily content on there at the moment, so how could you not? Links as always in the description and comment section, guys. Check it out at the end of this video. Alright, let's get into it. Now, the first setting you have to know about is the new pin feature in the item shop. Now, I know most of you miss the old shop, and I do too, but this cheeky setting is going to help you love the new one. Here's what you have to do. As soon as the game starts, open up the shop to buy your items and hover over the left panels, and you see this pin icon in the top left. Click on it, and these panels will be open every time you open up the shop. As you can see, these are the panels where you can buy potions and wards, boots, and having these open for the whole game saves time and crystallizes your build path because you can actually see where you're buying and it's easier to plan ahead. Now, if you don't do this, guys, you will be wasting more time than you already do when spending that all-important gold. So start doing it to win more in Season 11. So the next setting you need to start using, guys, is this bad boy right here, Quickcast, and apply this to all your abilities unless you're playing Victor or Rumble. Now, Victor's E and Rumble's ultimate are very hard to control with Quickcast only. You need to be able to see the indicators, so press this arrow below those abilities. But yeah, apart from those two abilities, guys, get around the Quickcast, and you know why? Because it makes you cleaner. Not in the hygiene sense, and I tell you what, that would be most welcome for this year's packs if it goes ahead. No, I'm talking about your mechanics. Your combos will be quicker because you don't have to approve them with an indicator, right? You're throwing them out in real time without any delay, and that's what the indicators are, delays. So Quickcast all of these, guys, you are going to be a better player because of it. Now, I'm going to stay on this topic but give you another essential setting for your abilities, and this is to set up normal cast on each one, so you can use the indicators when you need to because it's just better to. For example, if you're trying to get used to the range of an ability like a Kaiser W or a Xerath ultimate, having that range indicator is incredibly useful, as well as the outline of your ability. So go into your settings and open up your hotkeys, and then abilities and summoner spells, and under where it says normal cast, tie your abilities with another key. Now, for me, I prefer to press shift and then QWER, but this will be different for each and every one of you. You might prefer using one of the 58 buttons on your mouse or pressing spacebar. Whatever it is has to feel comfortable for you. Cannot stress that enough. Now, we'll stay with the hotkeys for a second, guys, and another you have got to start using is target champions only. Now, how many of you have accidentally clicked on a turret or a minion instead of the enemy champion and it's cost you a kill? I know I have for sure, and this setting helped me to never do it again and to never get flamed again. So in the same section as the last setting, that's hotkeys and then into abilities and summoner spells, scroll to where it says other and then look at target champions only. Bind this to a key that is again comfortable for you. Now, for me, it's on X, so whenever I gank a lane that has 20 minions in it or turret dive top lane, I know that I'm not going to embarrass myself by hitting the wrong target. This is so important to get used to, guys, so get around it. Now, these next two settings are ones we can all relate to, and I tell my students to put these in play on the reg. So the first one is to disable chat, and the second is to show timestamps. Now, for both, go to settings, of course, then interface, and you want to scroll down to the section titled chat. You then want to uncheck the top two and check the bottom one. Now, I think for some players on the Rift, their best attribute is typing up a storm and just causing mayhem amongst the allied ranks. Now, does this get you closer to winning? No, it gets you further away from that goal. Disabling chat also means you can't read your teammates' messages, and they might be the ones having a few jabs at you, and this could tilt you and put you off your game. No one wants or needs that, more importantly. As for the timestamps, guys, what do these track? Well, they track summoner spell usage and ability usage, because you can now ping both of these. This is super useful when you're in contact with an enemy champion, because if you know they don't have their ultimate or a key summoner spell, all of a sudden they're an easier target, and you getting that kill is all because you have this setting turned on. So if you want more kills or more wins, guys, use not just these settings, but all of the ones we've suggested so far. Now this one is a bit of a fun one and you will like this. So in champion selection these days, and it's been out for around 2 years, but few people actually use it, you can favorite the champions you play and then sort the champions in order of those you have favorited, like so. Now what this does is save time in picking your champion, and this would be especially useful for those of you playing a niche combination like Maokai mid or something whack like that. Riot won't throw these champions in the recommended pool for each role, so yeah, saves time and also condenses the massive champion list most of us have, because there are over 150 champions in the game now, so we can just see the 10 or so champions we play in our respective role. How good. Now you don't have to rush through a champ select of an actual game to do this. You can set up your favorites in a champ select of a practice tool. Simply start one of these bad boys up, right click over the champion or champions you main, then favorite this champion in your preferred role, and then select sort by favorite via the drop down menu. It's a neat little setting, this one, guys, that will save you time and stress in champ selects, so start picking your favs. Alright guys, next tip coming right up, and this one is definitely going to get you elo. Boosting the sound effects. Do you guys think you could play nearly as well as you do without sounds? The answer is probably no, and that's because when we play League we react to the sounds coming through to our heads. Now whether that be the warning noise of a Sion ultimate or an Ornn ultimate, or even a champion throwing out a skill shot like an Elise Cocoon, this is important. Sometimes hearing those sounds saves us. So here's what you have to do. Head into your settings, then go to sound and turn your sound effects volume to 100 and turn all other sounds down apart from pings. Keep this at 75 at least. From now on, these key sounds in the game, you're going to be able to hear them even more clearly and die less because of it. Okay, so now we're going to get into one of the most important settings, guys, or set of hotkeys I should say, and that's the F keys as they're known. And these are your camera control settings. So go into your settings and hotkeys, then camera control, and where it says center camera on champion, which should be the first thing you see, you can assign hotkeys to yourself and your teammates. Essentially what this means is that when you tap a hotkey assigned to player X, let's say, your camera immediately centers on player X until you let go. Now as a jungler, this is absolutely essential you get this down pat, especially if you want to actually be the best, but very important for everyone else. Reason being is because when you have a gander at your teammates, you collect information, and with this information, you can then make the optimal decision in that situation. So many players miss kill opportunities or opportunities in general to create leads because, I don't know, they get arthritis if they move their fingers too much. The best players have this skill nailed, so it's something everyone should start doing, including you. Most players have their self assigned to spacebar and their teammates on F1 through to F4. Personally, I have F1 as my own rude head, and my teammates, yeah, from F2 to F5. My spacebar is actually for the first item in my inventory slot because, yeah, that's what I'm comfortable with. And this is crucial. If it feels natural, go with it and stick with it. Alright, Game Leapers, I've got one more tip that is going to ensure you have a cracking Season 11, but before I reveal that red hot tip, that sounded a bit interesting. Anyway, please let us know you enjoyed the video by dropping a like, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our daily content. Again, when my voice stops and the video is about to end, do yourselves a favor and head on over to our amazing website GameLeap.com. Once you sign up, you will understand what I harp on about all the time. The exclusive access to our in-depth League videos is all you need to become the best. Links down below. Okay, back to the tips, guys, and I'm going to finish this off with a massive setting that you cannot play League without, and you won't be able to climb if you do not turn this off. Unlock your camera. Hopefully you hotkey the select self option from earlier to recenter your camera on your champion, so now you don't need to keep the camera permanently on yourself. This is what I like to call tunnel vision mode, and when you have this on 24/7, aka locked camera, you limit your vision. You can't see all the important stuff, right? In particular, if you play a champion with any sort of mobility, it might be Kai'Sa, it might be Akali, it might be Zed, it might be Aurelia, it's very hard to make the best play when your camera is locked, and that's because you can't see what's coming. When your camera is unlocked, your range, if you like, is as big as it can be. Think of a racing horse with the old blinkers on. That's what you guys look like with locked camera on all the time. You're the ultimate tunnel visioner. So go into your settings, guys, then hotkeys, camera control, and bind the toggle camera lock option again to something that feels comfortable. Mine is on Y and I never touch it. It's always off, and if I need to recenter the camera, I tap F1 and that's it. But most of you, if you just tap spacebar, bang, you're back in focus. Guys, get these settings in gear, and most importantly, get used to them. Get in a practice tool and create that muscle memory. Thanks so much for watching, and until tomorrow's video, this has been Coach Cheese. Peace.